What up, dog?
What up?
At long last, welcome back to A Lady and a Savage podcast. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Tasha.
And I'm Chuck. I said my name.
Chuck.
I'm back on bullshit in 2023.
Chuck has been missing. You know how when you be absent from school for a long time and you forget how things go?
I did.
This would be Chuck's issue. So anyway, let's just jump right into it.
Oh,
that was your line.
Let's just jump right into it. Come on, because we actually got guests today and everything. So we're gonna run through this, and then we're gonna introduce our guests. I guess we got to say something about sponsorship, don't we?
Yes. So Real Deal Holyfield is our show. Our collective has been going through a lot of personal life changes. However, we are dedicated to the craft. We are dedicated to bringing you great topics and a good time. So please, please, please don't let that discourage you from wanting to sponsor our show. Get in touch with us, A Lady and a Savage podcast at gmail.com. We are on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Our DMs are open if you want to collab and you have a product.
My DMs are not open. Stay the fuck out my DMs. Go to the page.
We didn't say Alien Bread Inc.'s DMs.
Oh, right.
The podcast DMs are open.
Yeah, we'll get back with you.
Oh, Lord. Y'all see what I deal with?
Hey, I'm actually, I wasn't in a good mood today, but I'm in a great mood actually.
Now?
No, I woke up in a great mood. I knew today was gonna be a great day, but I don't know. I get in these. I guess I don't know. It's just me. I get grumpy, so I did initially come up to the studio and I wasn't in the mood to do this shit or really talk much. But it is what it is.
Y'all ever had those people like in the neighborhood? And it'll be like one older couple or an old man, and he come outside and he always yelling at people to stay off his grass.
Like shit. Come on, what's going on? Let's get to
Just
it.
saying.
Come on. We're not gonna talk about me, but I am happy to be here. I'm blessed. I'm happy. Come on, let's get to it.
So we are from Metro Detroit, and one of the best attractions in the wintertime, pretty much the only best attraction in the wintertime, is the Winter Blast. So that's taking place February 3rd through the 5th in Royal Oak.
Now that's the thing. That's the shit that irritate me. They always promote it as like Detroit Winter Blast.
Well, it was until they moved it to Royal Oak.
And that's my point. So if...
I don't know what happened to Campus Martius. Why isn't it down there anymore? Well...
Somebody need to talk about it. Somebody need to look into it and talk about it.
Did you say money bug? It's always a money thing. Dang it. But anyway, if you want more details, go to @WinterBlastWeekend on Instagram and support Winter Blast. It's fun. I mean, I know it's in Royal Oak.
If you into shit like that, you and your family ain't got nothing to do, or if it's just something that you feel like doing with your friends, go check it out.
Chuck is such a curmudgeon.
It's
Google
not my
that.
thing. You won't catch me there.
Google curmudgeon
but y'all
and
should
crack
check it
up,
out
okay?
with y'all families.
Yes.
Just facts. Y'all won't catch me there. Just not my thing.
So we have some dope guests joining us in the studio. I'm really excited about who's here today. I'm excited. So today we have PJ Eugene. He is an independent recording artist. He's a content creator. He's an activist. He's super awesome. I really enjoy his content on social media, and I'm excited to have him weigh in on our topics today. And
Welcome.
Yes,
Thank
welcome. You. And then we also have Queen Yada D, or Kenyatta, whatever she feels like being today. But she is a Detroit hairstylist, so check out some of her hair looks, because she is thebomb.com out here laying these tresses, okay? And she can be found at Solo Queen, SOLOQU, 2 3s for the E and then the N. And PJ is his name, at PJ, PEJAY. EUGENE, PJ Eugene. Queen Yada D. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, me too. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is get into our Ears to the Streets topics. I do my best to stay on top of things.
Not really the streets, but go ahead. I mean, it's go ahead. My bad.
You should have.
I told you what kind of mood I was in.
You should have brought a beverage.
I know,
because you
but
just need.
I'm trying not to drink during the week. I'm trying not to drink.
That's
More
a
of a
new
weekend
rule.
thing.
So first things first, actor Alec Baldwin is in some serious trouble. He has been charged with involuntary manslaughter for 2021 film set shooting. The gun accidentally went off. It was a gun being used as a prop on set, and he discharged
last
it.
year, right?
Mm-hmm. But now he's been officially charged. So that gun going off killed someone. So he's got involuntary manslaughter charges that he's going to be facing. That's pretty heavy.
That's tough.
Wow, they use real guns on set. I thought they used fake ones.
Well, that's what blew me. That's what blew me. But apparently, it was a real gun.
Oh, wow.
Supposed to be
Let
a
me know how
prop.
that go.
Yep. More of the details say.
I'm not laughing at the situation. It's just natural.
So more of the details just say that Alec Baldwin will be charged for the 2021 fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the film Rust. On Thursday, authorities announced that the charges against him, as well as the movie's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed. They both will be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. As previously reported, Baldwin accidentally fired the fatal shot that killed Hutchins and injured the director, Joel Sousa. According to CNBC, one of the counts of manslaughter prosecutors will have to prove that there was underlying negligence. That charge carries a sentence of up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. The second charge is for involuntary manslaughter in the commission of a lawful act, which has a mandatory penalty of 5 years in prison and will require evidence that there was more than simple negligence involved in the fatal shooting.
So tragedy, but do we really give a fuck about what happened to him?
Why would we not?
I don't know him. I don't really care about who Alec Hammond. What is his name?
He's your granddaddy.
No, what's his name?
So Alec Baldwin.
Alec
You know who
Baldwin.
Alec
Talking
Baldwin
about
is.
What the fuck
He
has he
is
done
an-
for us?
Tyler Perry. Why you
Alec
said
Baldwin.
it's your girl? You calling
Alec
him
Baldwin.
granddaddy? My bad.
Right.
I don't know. Look, I don't know who the
Bingo.
guy is
Bingo.
either.
Okay.
So I guess I'll be the grandma.
She don't even know who
Is
Alec
it because
Baldwin
he's?
is.
Is it because he's older and white?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you. PJ telling the truth.
I don't
Okay.
think that's what it is.
I don't think that's
just
what it
think, like,
is.
It is.
I'm gonna- I
it's
feel
the
that.
bias.
I'm not the best really with these names, and
I'm not either.
Yeah,
I'm not big
so
on, yeah. Name a
it
movie.
has nothing to do with his complexion.
What's a movie? Give us a movie he was in.
Right.
Other than I heard his family name, but give us a movie. See, like I know the Baldwins, but
Alec
What
Baldwin
was he
was
in?
in. Let's just look up.
Let me see that face.
So
Let
is
me
he an
see your
actor,
face.
like or an actual director?
He's an actor. That's where like the bulk of his experience comes from. Let's see.
I never heard of him or the crew, but I'm more in tune with the fatal shooting of the
Is-
Right, it's
cinematographer.
so-
Is he
right.
not the same actor that got in trouble for going off on his daughter? Was that Alec Baldwin? Do you remember that?
That name sounds
The name sounds familiar.
But I
He had got-
can't match it.
there's
I
a
need a
lot of
movie.
Baldwins though. It's a lot of them. Well, we don't want to get too caught up into them. I was about to
He
say
already
something.
said he don't care.
But come on, right. We not even about to stop looking that shit up. Come on. Let's get back on
I'm
topic.
all on the Google.
Get
Let
back
me see
to
who
it.
he
What's
is.
next? Who else? What else in the streets? Because that ain't the streets. That's some, you know,
He was in
He said
Beetlejuice.
more streets.
that's some
please.
rich people
He
problems.
was in
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh.
He was the dad or whatever. The dad, the
I
husband.
barely remember what
the husband.
dad looked like. I remember Beetlejuice and his homegirl.
No.
Some of this old girl.
And next.
Okay, right. What else going on? What else you done heard about in the streets? What else the streets been telling you?
Okay, so Derek Chauvin, the main officer that was prosecuted in the George Floyd murder, is asking for a new trial.
Fuck him.
For what? An appeal to the old one?
Oh, yeah. He says he wasn't given a fair trial.
He's not gonna be given one again.
What was
going back
unfair
to
about
jail.
the first trial?
I'm just saying.
About them apples.
It's
did
just a
that.
fact. Like
He did it.
it doesn't matter.
So William Mormon representing the former Minneapolis police officer, appeared before an appeals court in Minnesota Wednesday to ask for Derek's convictions in the murder of George Floyd to be thrown out. According to Fox News, William argued that legal and procedural errors hindered Derek from having a fair trial. As previously reported, Hennepin County Judge Peter Cahill sentenced Derek to 22 and a half years after jurors found him guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in the May 25th, 2020 death of George Floyd.
But won't if he go up again, it'll just be a judge? It can't be a jury again?
I don't know.
So like the
Is that how the court system works?
I'll have to ask.
Yeah.
My Detroit lawyer.
Right, we had to get that turned on.
She gonna tell us.
But I think it's something like once you get convicted one way and then if they grant the appeal and you go back up, you can't be actually reviewed the same way.
He shouldn't be reviewed at all.
No, actually, I'm surprised he's still alive. But that's a whole nother topic.
Take your 22 and a half years and shut up.
Right.
For
you
real.
Did that.
I mean, I'm shocked.
No
that
matter why
he's
he
still in there to
did
be
it.
talking about some appeals and
Still
some,
protect their own.
Your knee was on his
Always.
neck and killed him regardless. Like,
Literally.
what kind of trial are you
On
looking
camera.
for? Like,
his boys would need up on him.
We need to stay on his neck
Might
so
as
he
well.
don't get up out of there, period.
so,
Like, come on, bro.
so it's unanimous. Fuck you, Derek Chauvin.
Pretty much.
I hope that he is fucking him.
No vaccine.
For real.
And then dropping all the soap.
Okay.
And on that note,
Something else in the streets? Shit.
in more shady racism news, Florida's Department of Education is rejecting adding College Board's AP African American Studies course to its schools, claiming it lacks educational value.
Wow.
But we
Yeah.
know why, though. We
Yeah.
all know why, because systemically, if they were to allow us to educate our young children about Black history, that means you have to explain a lot of shit that's not
Exactly.
supposed to be explained, because that means the system would not work. So why would we educate them and say, look at what happened to them all those years, hundreds and hundreds of years, and yet we look at them like, why they want reparations? Because I want my fucking money.
Absolutely.
I'm actually all for it. I think everybody should get it.
Yes.
And like now.
Give me my
I need
coin.
a bag today.
I need a big bag.
Yeah. And I ain't talking about no little penny shit, because y'all sending all these other countries billions of dollars.
Right.
Y'all aiding everybody but your own. You aiding everyone but your own. Like, that shit's sick.
So
Well,
the
you
deep-
know, they just in San Francisco they awarded reparations,
But how much?
but it's stipulations to it.
And how you gonna put stipulate? It wasn't stipulations when
Why
we
am I
was
rolling
in
with
slavery
this?
for hundreds
What are
of
the
years.
stipulations?
Bro, the main
Shit.
stipulation that everybody tripping on is that you got to have ties to somebody that was enslaved.
That's
but you
easy.
But you got to be able to go back, trace your history back to 1865.
Okay, but how about
Oh
the fact
my
we were
God.
already
That's
here?
ridiculous.
They going straight to hell. They going straight to
So
hell.
you want us to trace our history back to 1865 when?
and it's
Really?
got to be to a particular group.
But here's
of
the thing.
slaves. Like this,
Can we really actually say
It's
that
the most
they
ridiculous
all
I'm
were
sorry, it's
documented?
laughable. It's
You can't say that
laughable.
all slaves was documented.
It's
though.
the most ridiculous thing ever. So they award them like $5 million. Like each person supposed to get $5 million, but each person that's there has to be able to prove this thing. It's like it's just dumb.
They going to hell. That is
I hope
so
they
petty.
find. I hope they find a
dumb.
way, and I hope they find a loophole, and they all get their $5 band. They $5 mil actually. Shit. I
All
hope
it's
they
gonna do is
get
all
their
it's gonna
money.
do is cause issues because niggas across the bridge in Oakland about to come over there. They trying to get their reparations.
I'm trying to figure out how to say I was a
They
long
like
term.
y'all ain't gonna give us none. We coming over there. We jacking y'all niggas for y'all.
Hey. Then that's why everybody need to get it. So nobody's hungry for it.
Yeah, they trying to do that slick shit where they have everybody rule separately in each state or whatever. It's some bullshit.
Yeah, because we not even all from the state that we in. Shit, y'all done shipped us around. So if we go back to 1865, what I don't know where the fuck I was, and where I was wasn't even called what it is today. It wasn't Virginia. Virginia wasn't Virginia.
No.
You know what I'm saying? California wasn't California. So it's like if we go back,
No,
then
it's just bullshit so they can
come on.
weasel their way out of
Okay,
it.
but they
That's
was
all.
talk about the fact that we
Period.
were
Because
already
No,
ain't nobody
here.
gonna get
Hey,
$5
that's
million.
just, Listen,
Furnish
Like,
a slave.
that's just like the survivors of the Tulsa massacre. Like they waited, they kept pushing it back. So as they kept dying off, like it's only 2 left. And they still don't want to give these 2 people that's alive their money.
That is so
Just so they can be like, they ain't got to pay it. It's just fucked up, bro.
See what you bring up when you talk about these fucking streets?
Right.
Like
Can we get off the
it's the
street?
most
The
ridiculous
people need to
thing
know.
ever.
They need to know
No,
about
they
this
don't
stuff.
need to know. They need to go
They
read
need
it up
to know.
on their own.
They will, but I'm introducing it to those who didn't know.
I just hate it ain't more noise about the thing with the people in Tulsa because I'm like, why y'all fucking over 2 old people?
Yeah.
Same.
They don't
care about
They've
old
been
people, though.
doing.
I don't care at all.
So yeah, so that's
Making me
that.
grumpier.
That's that.
What's that?
That's that on the street.
That's it.
Oh shit! So what's going on?
Oh, you already know what's coming up now.
What's coming up now?
You
We want to
already
hear
know.
about it.
Yeah,
And then
so
we
good
get
shit.
we got a nice little main topic. I'm about to get educated
right.
about a lot of shit. I'm sure.
okay.
Get to this he say she
All right,
say.
so it's kind of long, so let me hurry it up. Me. So at 28, I'm in a situation I never thought I would be in. I found myself enjoying spending time and attracted to a man twice my age. It was never my intention, but he knows how to get what he wants. It's been a relentless pursuit for like 2 months now. He's romantic and thoughtful. He's actually the first man I've ever received flowers from. He makes good money and has no issue spending it on me. Older men have no issue expressing their feelings for you and making you feel so wanted. He's actually told me he loves me. However, I can't get out of my head because I know whatever we have won't last. I'm not going to commit myself to a 60-year-old at 28. I'm an attractive woman with options and
dead.
potential to meet a really great guy closer to my age. No, you're not, sis. I don't want to get distracted by this man and block off. I'm sorry. She said distracted. I don't want to get
Distracted.
I
Is
don't
she
want to.
fucking the 60-year-old?
It's that I would think
To each his own.
distracted.
It's a mess.
I don't want to
might
get
be a young
distracted
old man.
by this man and block off potential suitors. But it's weird because I've been going on dates with guys my age while seeing my old man, and I haven't felt any connection with those guys. I'm curious about what the sex would be like because I know he would take his time pleasing me. I also want to keep this thing going because he does nice things for me, and the holidays are coming up. There's just one twist that makes it hard for me to go all in. He's a very important regular at my job. I bartend.
Sugar baby.
Everyone knows him, and us being so close has already caused some jealousy and gossips from the girls I thought I was cool with. There's this one girl that's always asking about me to him, and he always tells me. I've made myself very clear that I want things to be kept private, and he should never tell anyone about us. I like my job, and it's the most comfortable I've been at a place in years. I don't want it ruined over Dak. But I'm just having fun keeping him on my roster, and I like seeing him at work. He keeps me company and always brings me food or a gift. One of the reasons these girls are jealous is because they see how well he treats me. I want to be able to explore sex with him and still have peace at work. We have kissed and touched here and there, and let's just say I don't think he'll have any problems putting it down. Have you ever been with someone 20 to 30 years older than you? What advice can you share?
Shut the fuck up.
Nah.
You telling too goddamn much. If you want to keep it private, don't be talking about what you do as a profession, and don't talk about how they already know.
It's a bajillion bartenders out here.
I probably know you. You nasty.
Probably know
It's
you.
probably
If you
somebody
fucking
from
one of the
Minnie's.
old regulars, like you nasty.
Probably one of the Minnie's girls.
Actually, they're not. Well, they're not closed. They relocated
I know.
to a different location. So,
Oh, downtown Minnie's. I've been in there like one time.
yeah. But no.
So who wants to go first? Who wants to jump in?
Who's actually dated somebody 20, 30 years older?
I can't.
Dated, no, seen, and what she's doing, it don't sound like they're even dating. I feel like she's more so in love with what he can do for her more than anything else. It sounds like the dick is good. Obviously, the assets that she gains from the connection with him is good, which is good, and everything does not have to be a deep situation. And I feel like if she takes her feelings out of it, because clearly you want to see other people, and I guess establish those boundaries with said person and communicate well about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. And that way we don't even have to have no confusion or you writing into a show to figure out what to do next.
But if they 20, 30 years older,
She 28, he's 60.
is that really a problem?
I mean, if that's what she wants, I
It
personally
depends.
can't.
Live, baby.
I'll be seeing my dad the whole time.
So y'all have never dated nobody like
I mean,
20,
I've
30
dated
years
someone
old?
older, but not 20 to 30. Maybe like I was.
I think it was
29,
17
he was
years
40
was mine.
something. He was like 41 or something like that.
That's 20 years basically.
Mine was over 20 years.
It was more like 11 or 12. I was 29.
And how old?
He was like 41.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe
That's
29,
up there.
28. Yeah. I mean, it was weird though. Like, it was just a
But that's
chitty,
like
chitty,
30
bang,
and
bang.
60.
Yeah,
30
and
and
we was
60
done.
weird though.
I had 40 and 57.
Apart or like in age?
That was the age. 40.
Shit,
57 a year.
Damn.
Yeah, 40, 41, and 57. So I think it was something like
went for a
17.
check
It
at
was
this
close
point.
to 20 years. And I mean, there are some things that I could see from that situation I had versus hers. But at the end of the day, he was on bullshit too, like these young dudes, because dudes just be on bullshit.
Be on
Matter the
bullshit, yeah.
age.
I don't know
Yeah.
nobody that's over 20 years, but I do know people that's married, and it's like, well, actually, I do know somebody who's over 20 years, but I know a lot more that's in between like 15 and 17.
Yeah.
Like, they've been together for years, like not even just a couple. They've been together for over 10 years.
Sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what she's experiencing, though, with this man
As a
is...
father,
We got daddy.
she finally got a daddy.
No, but I think for her being 28, I think there is a sophistication that kind of would come with an older man, just in terms of like
Yeah.
how they do things. Like he probably, if he does
He has
take
two
her on
life
dates,
experiences over her.
yeah, he probably actually picks her up at her door and opens her doors and like does things.
But she still wants somebody else.
Well, because
He
she
could
thinks she
raise her.
wants somebody young and popping. She can't, in her mind, can't see
She
herself.
want to have her
said she
cake and
ain't
eat it too.
Yeah, she
I'm
does.
looking for her. I'm low key a fan.
I'm looking for
But I
her.
think she should have her cake
She's a
and eat it too.
bartender.
She's 28.
She's dating. Like, it's
She's
not
a
like they're in a
bartender.
relationship.
Yeah,
You're
like
supposed to. You don't just.
I mean, unless he pull out a lot of carrots, diamond, you don't got. I'm with PJ. You don't really got nothing to
Okay.
talk about. You just enjoying yourself.
enjoy your life.
Enjoy the
Show
moment.
business.
Enjoy
I would
yourself.
have him,
All right, you gotta have a team.
have a team.
Yeah,
Nice
and
little
have all
team.
kind of different
And he
age
the captain.
ranges.
Because he's
He's the
sponsoring
captain. He got
everything.
Y'all heard
You
it.
hear that?
This is
You
what
hear
they
that,
doing
Steve?
out here.
Keep
This is
your
what they
old
doing.
man
I ain't mad at her.
and get you some other ones too.
So
Yeah.
if you got somebody, stay with who you got with, because ain't
Right.
shit out here. They dating 5 and 6 and 7 people at the same time. Y'all see what's going down.
I don't really encourage that either, though. If you got somebody and they trash, go on and let them go too, because you could do better
Yeah.
and bad by yourself.
Don't keep them on the roster.
I mean, if you got to double back for some sex because it's nasty out here and you don't want to, get no new sex, but
know.
like,
You wanna?
New sex is too risky.
So you gonna throw away?
I know you wanna know. At least you know they clean.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
type
You
shit.
gonna throw away all your effort?
that'd be people problem. That's why they stay at the party too long. I done put this in. I done put this amount of time in. Sorry, you lost it because they sucked.
I like a return.
And you could cut your losses. No.
That don't work.
No,
I gotta
I
get
ain't.
my returns.
Sometimes you won't get the return on investment though.
I don't know shit about that. Gonna get a return. Whether I'm taking the return
Nuts.
or it's willingly being given, I'm getting my fucking return.
I'm gonna have it.
Yeah.
It's mine and I want it now.
Come on now. Well, we can might as well pivot off old girl, her fucked up situation.
All right.
On to what's going on today.
Sound like her
Yes.
bills are paid.
So our
I heard that.
That's what all I'm hearing.
He's a regular too.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of dating and what goes on in this crazy world is I see a lot of people nowadays who kind of like talk about like, oh, I go both ways, or I'll see a girl or talk to a girl and she'll be like, oh, that was when I had a girlfriend, and she'd be like in a whole relationship with a man. Like, it's bigger than just being bisexual. I feel like in today's times, like with inclusion, how we're hearing more about it, how people are more like outspoken and just being more bold with their sexuality in their dating life. Why do we have all these labels? Like, it seems like this is just a sexually fluid society.
It's too much. I feel like it separates people, honestly. Like, for me, I mean, shoot, I like what I like when I like it. I don't like to be labeled bisexual, gay, or any of that. Because one moment I might not want to be with no female, you know, like right now I don't want no girl, you know. But
So it's like months, or is it like this year?
No, it's been a long time. I haven't. My last relationship with a girl, or any interest I've ever had in one, was probably like 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I still see females. I'm like, oh, she's pretty, but I don't be like, you know, nipples hard over it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. She's cute.
But they used to get hard over it.
You know what?
She like, it was hard at it.
But at the same time, you're also not. I feel like what I hear you saying is you're not saying never again, though.
Well, I'm not feeling that way right now.
Right.
But I don't say never again because, you know, I'm human. So
You never know
you
what
never
might-
know. I might be like, ooh, you know. But right now, I'm just like, nah, I want to be with a man. And, you know, that's all that good stuff. But who knows? What the
Seems
wind
so.
might blow.
You're open to it.
Yeah, I'm not
Do
like.
y'all think more people are open today in that aspect than it used to be, like, say, 10, 15 years ago?
They're more public with it.
Absolutely.
Oh, exactly.
They're more public with it.
I agree with that.
This has always
Everything's
existed.
more comfortable with it. Like society's making
definitely.
way more comfortable with it. So yeah,
Another thing that made me want to talk about this was how everybody went up in arms when August Alsina did. Was it The Surreal Life? What's the name of that show?
I can't think of the show, but I know what you're talking about.
He did a show on VH1. It's a reality type show. I guess it's like Big Brother style type of thing. And on the show, on the season finale, he introduced someone that he said taught him about love and in a different kind of way. And, you know, they had a connection and he wanted everyone to meet the person that has really made him happy and made him feel love in his life recently. So he never said, this is my boyfriend. However, the internet was up in arms like, oh my God, August Alsina came out. And so my thoughts with that are, even if that is a romantic relationship for him, it's not really coming out because he didn't say I'm gay. But it sounds to me like he's interested in who's interested in him and who will make him feel loved, and, which means
So
that's a sexually fluid situation. Exactly.
Is that
They call it-
pansexual?
yeah, like-
when you
I thought-
anybody you attracted to.
So
Yeah.
what's the... Wait a minute. So
This is why we need to kill the labels. It's so,
Much.
it creates
Right, 'cause
so
I'm
much
Too
confused.
much. Why can't I just be human?
It's so much confusion.
So that's a pan, like a pan.
So those, literally, yes.
We need to log off.
Like you just
we need to.
like you just put everything in that motherfucker. It's
It's a stir fry.
like a roast.
I
So you a
cannot.
roast sexual.
Done.
You a roast sexual?
Because I mean,
Is that what you
didn't nobody
call it?
really label nothing back in the day. That's why I say.
No, that's why I'm saying it's
And
so-
it was just gay. Did they
Crazy.
even have
Exactly. It
lesbian?
was either
just
you was gay,
gay?
you was straight, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
then nobody
Back
even
in the
say
day,
shit.
It was just gay.
Yeah.
It was just gay. Everybody
There was
was
no.
gay.
If you got down with your own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just gay. That was
Yeah,
it
everything was
wasn't
everything was labeled. It's
Yeah,
gay.
it
That's
was-
gay.
Yeah.
That's gay.
That's gay.
I think like years ago, it was simpler. It was you were either gay, you were either lesbian, you were heterosexual, or you were bisexual. I think now that we are in the world that we live in now, where identity is becoming more of an exploration now, people are more branching off the roots of those four labels and saying, well, I'm pansexual. I'm thinking in my head, well, don't that mean bisexual? Well, no, because now we're talking about genders, and gender is sexual from, separate from sexuality. So it's a certain term for a certain way of saying this. And
It's like a light bulb just went off when he said pansexual.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same thing as bisexual. I'm
Same.
like,
Yeah, it is because I'm
Same
like,
for
so,
me, too.
and
That
I would like
really
to say,
made it
what is
make
the
more
difference?
sense.
Like, what is the difference?
'Cause
that
why
would be the
is-
difference, because I think what he's saying is if you're pansexual, then you can find yourself. You're not limiting yourself. You can find yourself in a relationship with somebody who may identify as non-binary.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay. So we're talking
it's
about
like
what you
I can't say
identify
I'm
with.
bisexual if they don't consider themselves a she or he.
Yeah.
Right.
Bisexual is just either
I
men
know
and
it's a
women.
lot,
And I think
but
that's
I'm
what
trying
my-
to
I heard
educate
that, but I
myself.
couldn't say something else.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
That's
that's
true.
where
I do
it
remember- yeah.
confuses. Like, I think that's where the age and the time frame kicks in for me, because I get a little
Bring that
confused with it's not really no great. It's like I get confused when you start talking about the the labeling of your sex as far as not
like
being
cisgendered
gay.
and
Like shit like that. Like
yeah.
that's confusing. And then to put that into an adolescent who's already going through all these different hormones and trying to figure themselves out, to say that if you're a girl, you don't have to. I'm fucking confused even trying to explain it. When you say this little girl can say that she's not a girl or a boy, or this boy can say he's not a boy or a girl. No, the fuck is you talking about?
So PJ could probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I finally got it just last year, 2022. So I am heterosexual. I am born female and I identify as female. I think that makes me cisgendered heterosexual female.
Right.
I don't want to say nothing to offend nobody.
So don't.
But I'm so confused.
So
And she just said a whole bunch of shit.
So if you identify as the sex or gender that you were born, then you're
Cisgender.
That's what goes.
Okay,
in
so
front.
where is the diagram to where I can
didn't
look
bring
at
one.
it?
He needs
I-
the
And
tree.
somebody can.
We need a flow chart.
Because
You need that one like Nick Cannon.
No, I get the basics because I'm thinking of sexual acts and not necessarily labels of what I'm
Gender and
identifying
sexuality,
myself
right.
with. So
That's
when you're
why I
talking
say toss
about
'em.
a gender, like
For real.
like that whole gender conversation for me is like it's fucking weird.
It's
Like,
kinda
and I don't
confusing
even know
a little bit.
See, and I can't really say confusing because it's beyond confusing because it's weird. It's like, why are you even talking about that?
So I will say too, I think for me being a cisgendered heterosexual person, I do feel like sometimes it's overwhelming when you are trying to keep track of people's preferences and they feel disrespected,
Well, they can tell
but
you,
you
but you're
have
supposed
no
to educate
intention of
somebody.
Yeah.
disrespecting
Right.
them. But sometimes they get so I'm a
Yeah, I
dang,
never
I'm a
want to
dang, and you-
offend
Okay, well, I
the
didn't know.
disrespect.
Of course.
yeah, and so
Announce
I
yourself.
think though. I think that those who are non-binary or those who do identify as other things besides just whatever they were born can offer a little more grace. I think that now that people are being educated and we are trying to be more inclusive and we are trying to grow and be better, sometimes I feel like those on that side of the spectrum are don't give enough grace. Like some people are hateful. It is a hate thing and they
But I think you got to be educated, like how y'all teaching me right now, even as I'm joking about it and we talking about
Yeah.
it. It's still some things that I done picked up on real quick because I work in an industry where I work with everybody. And when I say everybody, every alphabet that we talking about, I see them. We in the office, we together. No, I'm saying everybody cool. Like, and when you working closely with somebody for that long, y'all become a family almost.
Yeah.
So we going to lunch together. We taking breaks together. So we getting to know each other. And there has been situations where I feel like certain individuals haven't corrected the masses to what they preference or what they would like to be addressed as. And I'm going to use this. Let me see. Can I say this scenario?
should be able to.
Okay, so this is not the organization that I'm with currently, but a previous organization that I worked for that I had a contract with, there was this transsexual that worked with us. She never corrected people when they made mistakes and didn't reference her as she. And sometimes people would say, hey man, or they would say different things, or we would be in the setting, and because it was a predominantly male team, people would come in the room and they would say, guys, hey guys, or it's just almost the same thing as if a woman is in the room and the entire time the male instructor is referring to the masses, the group, as guys, like just in general.
Right.
So I smoked cigarettes then. This is a couple of years ago. I quit smoking cigarettes. But a couple of years ago, so I smoked cigarettes. They smoked cigarettes. And I would hear, you know what I'm saying? They would tell me that they would be offended about certain situations, or I would overhear them talking about other situations with other people. But it's like, why not just pull that person to the side, number one? Or two, educate them in front of everybody. Say something in front of everybody, because what I feel like happened more often than not is it turns into a bigger thing when it should have just been a simple conversation. Like, hey, we need to talk. And I'm saying it this way because I'm even thinking I know who I'm talking about, where easily they could have been like, I need to talk to you. Just because we had that type of open, like it was a very, some of the motherfuckers was weird. It was a very diverse group of people who did not have any verbal reservations. I'll leave it right there.
Okay.
Where the shit that I say and how I talk, we all spoke the same language. Everybody cursed. Everybody talked a little dirty. It was always crossing the line a little bit here and there. It's a little disrespectful, not disrespectful, playful. So it's like you in this type of setting, you either gonna rise to the occasion and speak up for yourself, or these motherfuckers gonna clown you because we think it's funny. Yeah. And I think that that happens a lot in the industry that I'm in, because a lot of times we don't get the today. Like I'm learning a lot about the pronouns and how you're supposed to use them when you're not supposed to use. But if I didn't go through, like I had to take classes in my field to learn about different type of things. But do I know it off the back of my head? No. Will I make a mistake and get something mixed up? Absolutely. Because you're taking it further than, not my understanding, but further than what I would like to discuss with another human being anyway. Because whether you,
it's my business.
whatever, right, that's not how I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at you based off your gender. I'm looking at you as a person. So why do I have to address you with that, like the way that people want to be addressed, even in their emails now, how they want it included in certain labels, like your gender. I don't feel like that shit should be part of work or part of anything.
It's everywhere. And I feel like it makes me uncomfortable, even though I am a cisgender person. It makes me See,
now you about to make me. Would you stop fucking saying that?
No, it's the truth, and I have to explain why. It makes me uncomfortable as a cisgender person, because if we're going around sticking our pronouns on everything, like you can make any assumption. You can assume just because I put she, her under my email signature, you can assume I might not have been born as she, her. And I'm not cool with that.
That's a good one.
No shade against anybody making their choices, but I'm not cool with you thinking I might not have been born with this vagina.
Because that is kind of throwing it out there like, hey, do you know?
Hey.
Well, okay, hold on.
It gets very don't ask, don't tell for me, because I done told you what to call me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
But I had to put this perspective on. So like I swear to God, I felt the same. I kind of still do. Like I get confused and I'm like, I'm part of the community. So why am I so thrown off guard? But I had to like put myself in the shoes of, I remember when it was me, when I felt so misunderstood. And just simply saying that I identify as this sexuality caused a commotion. But now, as you saying, we have so many different identities and genders that we're trying to incorporate in just the general public. And for me, at first it was too much, but I try to be gracious, because there was a time when I was like, I want to be understood, I want to be respected, and I want people to feel a certain kind of way towards me, even if you don't agree and accept what I got going on. So I try to be gracious and at least look it up on Google and be like, hey, what does this mean, before I be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
it's just, that's why I say with the sexuality, or I'm gay, I'm bi, I'm this, I'm that. Like, we probably should just kill it, because if I choose to get involved
I'm not
with
gonna say kill it. Just kill it.
Like we need some type of label.
Like, I'm not saying.
but why though? Because
I mean, why couldn't we just start where we was? We just keep adding on.
Because what if I end up,
and I'm just like, it's
like,
just
what
too
if I
much for me
end
to
up
even
with a
I mean, it's a new
remember,
term
keep
every
up
year.
with.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
like,
That's what's making it confusing, and then it make you not want to have conversations.
No,
with
that's
people.
what make it. That's what
And
make
then it's
people
like-
think it's a joke.
And sometimes trans people too, like, they get so, like, I remember I was on TikTok. It's my favorite place to be. I'm telling you, I get educated. I was on TikTok, and it's a trans man on there who, well, of course, was born female and
I follow a couple women
and became a man. And
is she a man? Nah.
And he was out on a date with a woman.
I know
It's
that.
weird.
Yeah.
And
I had this conversation.
And in his post, he was like, me and my girl, or something like that, me and my girl. And someone in the comments was like, oh, so y'all lesbians. It's disrespectful because he considers himself a man, but at the same time, like, Yeah,
I thought
what
you
do you
said
see?
I thought you said it was a woman.
It was
He
a
was a
woman,
trans
but now
man.
he's
Oh,
a
so
man.
it's a
Yeah,
man.
It's a trans man, and he's
however.
in a relationship with a woman.
So they're trying to say they're
Oh.
lesbians because originally
Yeah.
it was a woman.
Right.
Not laughing. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody hating me, trying to attack
I'm
me.
sorry. Hey, you can hate me because if it's funny, I'm going to laugh.
No, because I'm saying like
Because
I
I know
get it.
that I'm learning.
That is disrespectful, but
But you know the internet
But it's
is messy.
like,
That's what they gonna
come
do.
on.
it is
Come on.
piece of humor in here.
I know one thing. It'd be crucial when somebody be like they trans this, but you still look like the sex that you coming from. So it make it be like,
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like, ladies,
See,
if
now
you a
that's deep,
stud
though.
and you
but that's what
got
I'm saying.
hips,
So like for them
Oh
being
my
like,
gosh, with the big booty.
so for them being on the TikTok like, oh y'all lesbians, like
She might not
he
like
probably
that.
he still look like her. You
Well,
know what
he
I'm
now
saying?
she's a he.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He still look like her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
That's
I
exactly.
don't know.
Technically, you
I don't
are
know.
a lesbian.
I don't know if you a stud or.
but that's my
you know what
thought.
I'm
So
saying?
Or
what
a
did she
trans
say?
man.
Technically,
Yeah.
Or a-
you are. If you were attracted to women while you were a woman,
Yeah,
that doesn't make you a lesbian. That's why I
Right.
say we might need to kill these titles because it just gets sticky. It gets silly.
I feel like
When I
I feel
get
like
ready to introduce
I
my
feel like
person,
you should.
this is my spouse.
And I'm
You don't gotta
gonna
know
be
what's going
completely
between
honest
their
on
legs.
on the trans thing. I feel like you should not have the label trans unless you have
Post-op.
right.
You did the
you
post-op.
You gotta get the
changed
situation taken
organs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's that's what makes
you know what I'm
it.
saying?
I think that's the difference between being transsexual and transgender. I think if you're transsexual,
Right.
you've had the post-op or
Taken
you've had the
care of.
operation and you've got the new part.
I'm just saying
Gender
that's
is what
it's
you
too many
identify
trans
as.
something.
So what do
This
you
is my
do?
point.
You should
all
only
these
be.
names.
I feel like you should. I'm telling you because that's just like he said. It's confusing as fuck.
Yeah, they set us up for failure.
You know what I'm
They done
saying?
added-
Wow.
They done added extra alphabet
I'm
letters.
gonna be all the way real. Every person that I've met that identifies as trans, they are the most offended people that I have ever
Yes,
come across.
It's true. That's
That's
why
the
I'm
thing.
like,
Everybody's
don't-
just so
and you
sensitive.
don't
That's all.
know what the fuck to say or not to say.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
then
I'm
next
like,
thing. And next thing you
Sensitive
know,
and
you will have a whole bunch of motherfuckers on your page and then your
Why you think I'm
DM
quiet today?
threatening you and shit.
I don't
you know
want
what I'm
nobody
saying?
mad at me.
you don't want no
'cause-
smoke.
No, because he's telling the truth. Like
That's how it be. So you don't be
It
wanting to
is a-
say nothing at all. You be like, you know what? I'm gonna just.
So what are we
Especially
calling
with,
it? It's
with
a
presentation like you brought up. It was an argument online I was watching. It was this person who's non-binary. You know, if you're non-binary, your pronouns are they and them. If I'm not mistaken.
right.
But if you would have looked at the person, they gave boy, and I guess they were trying to be in this middle space where they're not, masculine nor feminine, but everybody else was like, oh, he, him, and they got offended. And somebody checked into them and was like, well, bitch, you get boy. So I don't know that whole presentation.
Oh,
thing,
why not just
if you
bitch?
Trans,
You get bitch.
Okay, similar story. It's
Yeah,
one
because
that I follow.
because I know some people that did the change and you wouldn't even know
That they were before.
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
were what they were before.
That's
And
dedication.
it blew my mind because my auntie had to prep me because I used to do security back in the day. And she was like, yo, we got to do security for this party. You about to see some stuff, you know what I'm saying, that might make you be like, so I'm just giving you the heads up. And she started explaining some stuff. And I'm like, man, whatever. If a dude was a dude, you could tell he was a dude. Yo. It's
The
some
only-
people that had to change, and you
Surgery's
will
getting
never
better and
fucking
better.
know that they were born a man or they were born a
Well, you-
woman.
Well, you would know
You
when
can
you.
know what
kind
I'm
of
saying?
tell on the women because when they have the
Sometimes,
breast
yeah.
surgery, there's
they
like
got
a
the
scar
scar.
line
Yeah.
that's
Well,
underneath.
everybody get
But
birth.
once they get in the gym,
I mean, if you
and
see
get
them
past
naked,
it
you would
kinda
probably
goes-
know.
So this is
And then
about
they got
to be
stuff to
like,
get rid of the
so this
scars.
question is about to be like,
Controversial.
I don't know.
Give it
So the pussy look like a pussy?
Yes,
I
it
wanna
did.
They
see one. I do.
inverted. I
do. I'm dying to.
Well, do y'all
I've only
remember
seen
it
the
was a- it
penis.
was a
I've never seen
character-
the vagina.
It was a character on
But the,
the
penis
real
don't
world.
look like
who
it
went
don't have
through
no
it.
veins.
The whole
and everything.
surgery. I want to
like
see. Is it?
take-
Yeah.
Have y'all ever
don't
seen like a person who got the surgery? I want.
I've seen
like,
the man
I've-
part. That's what I'm saying. I've seen
I've
that
seen
when they
a-
take another part,
I've,
like
I've
the
met
skin,
a guy.
and,
That,
like,
I met a
make
guy
it
that had the
big,
surgery.
like
and he's
Cut it
now,
off?
To be a
he's now a
woman.
woman. He don't have.
So
Yes,
do
in
it
the
look the same
vagina.
down there
His
as like a cisgendered woman?
His vagina, it looked like a
God.
vagina.
Like a pussy.
But I
Yes.
think it
Like
doesn't go deep. Is the thing.
I think that's probably
It's
it.
not
But I
very-
don't. I mean, I was not trying to find out. But I'm
Like, cause there's no uterus. You gotta. Yeah.
Listen,
You
the
can't go
only
very
reason
deep
the
inside
only
it.
reason I saw it is because he was naked on the stage and he showed like
His
I mean,
twat?
she-
So is it kind of like a Barbie?
she showed, you know what I'm saying? They was like, because they was like celebrating, like, yeah, you got your surgery, girl. Da, 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 da.
Oh wow!
And I was sitting there and I was
Flash your
like,
cooch.
So it'd be more like a pocket
Do it
pussy.
get wet like naturally?
Then, because it's like
Oh, I
not
don't
going
know.
all the way through.
Oh,
It's
I
just
thought you experienced
enough
it.
for
No, 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 no.
penetration.
No.
And then
Nah.
what
Type
about
deal.
lubrication? Does it get?
I was asking him.
I mean,
I think it does.
I mean, that's the question marks because I
I
don't
mean,
know.
because
But I'm
penis
just-
gets wet,
As
so
far
I'm
as
sure
that
it's the
the
same,
analogy.
But I'm
the
just saying, as
same
far as looking at it
fluids coming out of the
The fact that you
vagina.
said a pocket pussy.
If by any chance we have
Listen.
a post-op transgendered person listening,
I want to see it.
and you're not shy, our DMs are open.
Yes.
Dead ass though.
Mine is open.
Tasha, be
No, dead ass,
careful.
because this is a teachable moment.
Okay, but I don't want y'all in our DMs just going pussy crazy. Just
I do. Send me the
sending all
I
this
mean,
I wanna see that cooter mouth.
But I also know a guy that does, you know, he is plastic surgeon or whatever, but he
got
does
some
surgeries
pictures on
for,
that?
you know what I'm saying? And he was like, the penises now, they look like real penis.
They do look like penis.
You wouldn't
Well,
know.
I'm not shocked because there are some clitorises that are so large.
Very big.
little
They look like
penises.
penises.
That's
No, some of them
big.
be big penises. Get all that.
Somebody some
Dang,
I done
hands.
seen
like
some.
if a girl saw
Hey.
it and thought
I done
that
seen
was
some
her
strong-
dream.
Hey,
Some of you bitches walk around with little dicks.
True story. This girl that I dated.
She has a little dick on her.
She's like, I'm so
The
hard.
first time I seen her shit, like she tried
hate it here.
to tell me without telling me because she,
That her click was big as fuck.
yeah, because I guess she had she told me after the fact that she experienced a guy said that she was with and he was fucking scared. He was like, "Oh my god, are you a fucking man?"
Ooh, what about when you get
'Cause I'm
head?
talking
Is that
about-
like, what is you? I suck on that.
So when you
Ooh,
went
you
down
so
on her,
good.
was it like a licking or with like an up and down motion? 'Cause then, you know, it's like
How would that
big.
make the man feel sucking on that?
I mean, it's like sucking on a regular clit. It's
Mine
just
is
No, not if it's
No,
big
if it's
like
big, you gotta,
a
like,
dick.
add some
It's
more.
not big.
They be having
big
no.
like a
I done
dick.
looked at some porns
Like
where
that's
they
a dick
big.
big.
Okay,
They got
getting
some
hard
big
and
ones.
extending. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
And I mean, there's some little baby fingers out there.
You just walking around.
Some questions. Some questions.
double thumbs out there.
Little tiny penis. I'm gonna be like, is this a clitoris?
You might have to lift them balls up. See if there's a pussy back there.
Yeah. Are you trans?
Said it's a clitoris.
Oh man.
See, I'm glad y'all never laugh about this shit.
But the good thing, you know, she was all woman and it was cool. But that was my first experience with
With a big clit.
with a clit. Like it protruded. Like it didn't even matter.
It was big.
Like,
Did it throw you
like
off
she
at
could be.
first?
You better not wear no gray sweat.
Like serious. Like yes. So like if because one time we
That
went
bitch was getting
we went to the listen we went to
Oh
the
my god.
we went to the gym together and I was like niggas is staring at your clit.
She had on some tight pants.
She
Listen.
probably had on her the
That
leggings.
mo-
Loose the leggings.
But you know, most women don't wear their stuff loose at the gym. They wear their stuff fitting. So she
Yeah, the
just,
athlete
she just
Band-Aids.
doing what she do, and like niggas was staring. And
You
I
know
was like,
somebody that's obsessed
I
with
was like,
those.
they
Like he
staring-
loves
Pussy
big
print.
they,
No, it was fat,
I was
too,
like,
then.
I was like, they staring at your
I'm
clip.
glad
She
my
had a
daddy
fat
not well for
pussy,
this
too.
episode. He'd be judging.
Oh my gosh, no, he would.
It was just
I got a
pussy
question
and
though.
clit.
So back to the labeling, right?
Yes.
So what would you be? What would you consider a man that turns into a woman and ends up with a woman anyway? Like, what is that?
You mean like completely like they cut it
Yeah,
off?
like they
do
go
all-
trans and then they become a woman and then end up with a woman.
Hey, that's-
Exactly. That's why I'm like, what do
if you cut your
I mean-
dick off and you turn into a
I mean, if they
you
But
transition,
then what would you
if
be
they're
labeling
identifying
yourself
to
as?
a-
Like,
Cause
would you
Technically
consider
heterosexual
yourself?
because you know they're now considered a man. So if you were
No,
to
a
say,
woman.
wait,
He's saying if you
Like-
become a woman,
oh, you become a woman.
yeah, like he was a man.
And end
he
up with
became
a woman.
Oh, Oh,
A lesbian, right?
and he got with a woman.
Yeah, but what would he be
I'm confused.
considered as himself?
Oh, that shit going on. Why
That
you
happens,
confused?
yeah.
Wait,
There's
back
men
up.
that dress like women. I know, there's men that dress like women, and they're okay. Their woman is okay with that. Like, they're not gay. They just want to be with that
Like
woman. But
cross-dressing.
they like to dress. Yeah, so what
Like
about
Dwayne
one that
Wade.
wants
I
to
know
change
some
their
cross-dressers.
whole, thing and be with
Yeah, but does that turn into you want to be a woman when you 70 something like Bruce Jenner?
He
Does
always.
he- but does he like-
Because
But
So he doesn't like-
he was
But he said
cross-dressing
he
on
was
the
gay.
low.
He said
I was about to say, does he like
on the
men?
inside. He said
He
he
was always
wanted,
an older
he
woman.
always wanted a woman.
So he doesn't like
but
men.
it was the stereotypes
Who knows?
of him being an athlete and being in that space like that just was like you would be crucified back then.
So Caitlyn is a lesbian.
So that's why he never said it.
That's
Well,
why I'm-
she now, but
think
you know what
that's
I'm saying he
the
never
same
said anything
scenario.
back in the day.
Yeah.
That's why he went to the whole like I gotta have a family, I gotta have kids, I gotta do this and this and that.
and now I can
And
go dress like
he never felt like he should be with her.
I could tell he was very
You know what I'm
beta
saying?
in the marriage.
Like
Chris Jenner ran that show through and through.
Guess it worked out for the ladies.
Hey.
Now they sisters. And real sisters because they got kids together.
it's just terrible that he's in
He said future real.
that.
Well,
She don't even.
I just feel like we see it all the time in the news, in the media, social media, everything. Love is love.
It is.
Even when we come down to racial relationships, interracial relationships, the whole motto is love is love. So if love is love, why do we need all of these
That's why I said the
labels? 'Cause
gender
it's just
part-
getting crazy. It is.
Yeah.
I can only stick to it being
And even for
separation.
like when PJ
Trying
just
to
said,
separate.
I'm a part of the community, but then just a minute ago we give a scenario, he had to take a second, and it's not. He doesn't have to be the expert just because he's a part of the community, and that's the thing. You feel pressure because you don't want to offend someone.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. You feel the pressure to deal in a society because you don't want to offend, not because you don't give a damn about other people, but because you don't want to say the wrong thing. And just as much as someone who is a part of the LGBTQ community plus all of it, just like you don't want to offend them and they are scared when they're out of their comfort zone or they're telling someone their truth and they don't know if they're going to get hurt. We don't know if we're going to get hurt if we say something to offend someone after they feel like I've been battling all my life with this, So I just think that if we just ditch all the labels, find a way to be respectful and loving towards one another the way God wants
Just
us
be
to
humans.
be.
That's why I say you don't need to put a
towards one
label on
another.
everything.
Whatever you want to be identified as, yes, you can be that. We can respect that. But when it comes down to like the sexuality and the relationships and gay, bi, pan, it's just too much. It's too much. Love who you
She
love.
can't take it.
I think it's like
Here's
religion
the-
too.
the
Like
other
how they
thing-
separate. It's just something else.
It
just be
is.
like this them over there, that's them over there. Like it's
True.
it's stupid.
yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I think is those that begin to identify as something else, or they coming into their truth and they get into the place where they comfortable bringing this to their families and stuff like that. They also need to have more patience when it comes to dealing with their family, because now you got to go through a rewiring process. They may actually respect it, but you still got to give them time
They
to
gotta
get
learn
out of
to
calling
adjust.
you he, she, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if your pronouns now is they, and I've been saying he all this time,
Yes.
and you act like I'm supposed to get it right away when I'm used to calling you he.
That's how it was in the
You know
Best
what I'm
Man
saying?
final chapters. Did you
Like-
watch that?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's
I haven't
how-
seen it.
Is
So
Is that
shut
the
up.
series, the Best Man series?
I
Yeah.
know it's been
Okay.
out. I
Yeah.
ain't seen it.
I
But-
did hear about it. What channel? What is it on?
Peacock.
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got
But
it.
like that's how it
Check it
was.
out.
Like when one of the characters was
Why
dealing
you
with
gotta
that.
tell it to me?
I'm not all the way. Like I'm trying to talk in
Spoiler
code.
alert. Just,
Yeah,
Like-
don't tell it. Let them watch it.
right, because this motherfucker about to tell it. I don't care how you mix it up. You would have
Tasha,
told
about
me.
to get
me
up.
and you here. I
I
got
was
you.
speaking in code.
I know, but I got you.
But yes, but
yeah, so it's that
as
whole
long
thing.
as your parents are,
But that was a
are
but that-
speaking up where they want to try though. Like
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean. If they're acting like they're going to try and they're not just trying to be funny, you know what I mean. You should give everybody in your
that's-
life
and
the
you know
grace.
and we need families to stop shunning
That's key. What
their
you just
family members.
said is grace, because I know it was a time where me and my mom, we butted heads so much because she didn't like my sexuality. I didn't give a fuck that she didn't like it. So that was gonna always be a problem. But what I respect about my mother now is that she was willing to try, and she was having those conversations and asking me questions, even though she didn't want to offend me with the question. I would tell her, ask me. That's the only way you're gonna learn. And I feel like everybody just to extend grace. People who grew up with the traditional style of labeling things versus the people who are adapting to a whole new style. Allow me grace to fuck up. I'm going to misgender you sometimes because I'm so used to calling you he.
Yes.
Allow me that grace, but then I'm going to also allow you the grace to get educated because you're going to only misgender me so many times.
Yeah.
I think the respect needs to be even. I understand that people walk in identities at different stages of their life. Kris Jenner decided to transition in 50s, 60s. There's some people who have that courage later on down the line, and they still deserve that respect. But also, we deserve people who only know, like you said, I'm from the community, and I'm still learning. To me, it's two separate entities now. It's sexuality, which I feel like I understand. It's you either like, as somebody said, you either like dick, pussy, or both. But then you have gender. Now that's identity, where it's separate from sexuality, and but it's also some way connected.
Yeah.
Now that part I'm still learning about.
I think that's what makes it sexual. Is the fact that when you incorporate the gender pieces to that, you change the conversation to a sexual conversation.
And that's what I think is unfair about those in that community, because they tell us heterosexual cis people who feel like I'm going to be honest, and I don't want to offend anyone, but this is my truth. I think it's unfair when trans women, so I was born a man, but I'm a become a woman. I think it's unfair. It is things that women go through that you won't and don't, and you want me to just say you're a woman because you said you're a woman, and it's hard for me to separate that. And I've listened to people like Consciously. If you don't know who that is on social media, The Consciously, he's awesome. I've listened, I've educated myself, and I still have a hard time separating those feelings, like knowing that you can't give birth. Like, even though there are women who are born cis women who can't have kids and everything, but still, it just feels like a slap in the face.
I think we all get pieces that, like me, I'm a very understanding person. I don't judge anybody for shit. But there is pieces of things that bother me, like how the scenario you just used. I have an issue with women who become men, trans men. If I'm saying it right, so it was a woman who transitioned to a man and decides to have a baby and raise the baby as a dad.
And carry the baby?
Yeah.
I've seen
that too.
I've seen that, and thanks to TikTok, I've seen a lot of fucking shit.
And I think that's
that I probably would
unfair.
have never seen. But for me, that's my biggest. When I seen that, it was like mind blowing. One, then two, I immediately thought about the mental state of a child and the importance of having a mother and a father, but the fact that the type of confusion that you are going to create by raising a child saying that I am your father, I'm dad, but I'm actually your mom, is going to fuck that kid up, because there's certain aspects of just your spirit and biological that you have to be able to explain to a kid. And if you're going to, I don't care how great they are as parents, I get it. I get all that shit. People are just good fucking people. But there's certain visualizations that you can imprint into a child that is detrimental to their just mind, period. That in that pivotal age between 1 and 5, you could forever fuck them up.
That's a good
that's
topic.
good.
I was about to
That's
say,
good
because
as
did you
fuck.
ever run into any issues as a former educator with parents who could tell or knew you were gay and had an issue with you over
My
their kids?
first year, immediately, it was times I was minding my own black ass business, and I would just get called into the office. These parents have an issue with you. You know, the way that you are. It's like, and how am I? It was always crazy. But I think you just got to be stern. Like, I'm here to teach, not to tell you what I do outside of these hours.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I had a friend. He used to teach. He quit just because of that.
He was gay too.
you get tired of
You say-
fighting.
But when
That
you say
is so
fight,
low.
But he went into engineering. He was like, "Fuck education."
But see, my thing with that is even if a child can identify what I am because they think they can pick up on mannerisms or whatever it is, if I'm not tonguing down my lover in my classroom, what are you worried about?
I think that's kind of like.
If I'm not inappropriate,
Look at the kids though.
if
Look
I'm
at the
not
shit the
giving
kids do.
scenarios that are strict, Timmy and
And then
Timmy,
the
you know, if I'm
TV
not trying to
Right.
force
that they
something
watch.
down. Oh yeah,
But no, they teaching
SpongeBob.
that.
Everything.
They're
like
teaching that, though.
they can't
Well, I mean,
get
that's-
away. Yeah, they are.
I mean, that shifted, in a lot of ways. But I'm sure when he was teaching, it was still prevalent because you still got the people that's traditional backgrounds, especially those that grew up
He
in
hasn't
church.
stopped teaching. It haven't been long.
You know what I'm saying? Those that grew up in church, they like, I don't want that rubbing off on my kid. And that's what
I
they
mean,
think.
at this point, it's everywhere. So what are you doing? Like, who cares? At this point?
Yeah, it's
Like,
definitely everywhere.
But that's
It
how.
don't matter.
that's-
You gonna close your eyes everywhere that you in a grocery store. You see somebody get
So,
close your
but
eyes.
I think, but
Like,
I-
what are you gonna do?
But it's
like,
just like I think it's some people have the same train of thought how he had about the scenario that he just brought about. Like you thinking about when a kid is developing,
Yes.
and they coming into themselves. So when they in school, you want your kids to be able to focus on whatever they being taught. If they
Yes.
not focusing on that and they wondering like, well, dang, is my teacher like? Or
Yeah.
your greatest fear for some parents is like, what if my kid
Get touched by
he
or
like men and he daydreaming about you in his classroom because he know that you gay. You know what I'm saying? Like parents will think of the
All
most
the things.
outrageous
Scenarios, yeah.
scenarios.
Yeah, like
They always go to the end of this. You know what I'm saying?
Just like
to the
those
end of the
parents
spectrum.
that
You know
think
what I'm
if their
saying?
son play with a doll, their kid gonna be gay. That's not true either.
Like, if he got a kitchen set, no, he about to be like.
True, he about to throw it out.
A
on the
man
kitchen
can't cook.
table. I'm telling you, man.
But
Like,
I
it's
agree
the
with him
stupidest
though.
thing.
When he said like the way that you present certain things can really fuck up a child because we sitting here with our grown asses confused as hell having a conversation about gender and sexuality and we still confused. So imagine trying to translate that to a child who is experiencing everything for the first time. So I think you got to be just subtle with certain things.
Yes, tread.
I
light.
think I think that's just one of those things that truly bother me though, because I want to know how that conversation go. I'm actually interested into how do you have that conversation with a kid because they just not gonna understand that. Like, so what are you saying? You I've been calling you daddy for 10 years and you're really mommy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how? Like, how did that happen?
And I just think that's I think that's unfair too because you say you want to be respected and treated and considered a
You
man,
earned to be a father.
but you're using your female parts to carry a child and give birth. It's kind of like having your cake and eating it too. Like, no, that's unfair. Pick a side. You say you want to be a man, be a man. Men cannot carry kids. Even if you can carry them, you shouldn't.
Now that I agree with. We should
Like,
take
that's
that.
not fair.
What is that? It's the uterus, right? We just
The uterus.
yeah,
But I just
get
think,
on up in there and get it.
yeah,
Like, I think that we should. I think we should be a
switch over? We
respecter.
taking this.
I think we should respect humans and their personal life choices and mind our business, but at the same time, people want to get away with some of everything and just anything goes and think that we shouldn't have any kind of lay of the land or rules and
Conversations.
structure. Yeah, and no.
And we gonna have differences.
Because before
We
you
gonna
know
have
it, people gonna be birthing animals. Like it's crazy.
But
Okay.
we support everybody. We love
We do.
everybody.
Everybody.
We're not against anybody.
We do.
It's just the type of conversation that actually needs to be had. Everybody is not going to agree with the same shit. And a lot of this, you simply have to agree to disagree. Your beliefs is not necessarily going to be my beliefs, but that doesn't change you being a human being.
Yes.
So you're going to respect and love the individuals that surround you. And that's just really what it's about. It's having a conversation and being respectful at the same time. And if you don't do that, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings because people, more so like me, who joke about the shit, we're gonna keep joking about it.
Fix all the labels. We can just call each other by our name.
Yeah.
Don't hear your name a lot.
Love who you
Because at
love.
this point, I'm just like, okay.
Is my takeaway is love who you love and respect all persons. You don't have to agree with their lifestyle because it's a lot of things in the world that we aren't going to agree on just in having discourse and conversation.
Yeah.
Everything is a topic. Everything is a thing. So just respect each other and mind your business.
And we want to
Glad.
definitely thank our guests. 'cause
1
we
minute.
got 1 minute left.
Yes,
Oh,
thank
we
you
gotta
to
thank our
PJ
guests.
and Kenyatta.
I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed myself.
Well, don't be strangers. You guys are definitely welcome back at any time. So we got an exciting show next week. Is our 1 year
1-year anniversary.
anniversary.
Who's gonna be on deck?
Yeah, so we're gonna do a macaroni and cheese cook-off. We're gonna see if we can get our girl Junie Lane to hook us up with some good drinks, some infused drinks. And yeah, we just gonna have us a time. So
definitely
thank y'all
check
for
us
joining
out.
us and have a good night.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.